Welcome to the Quick Start Unity tutorial for Accelerator. Also known as AXR, this is a powerful game backend as a service, covers a broad range of online multiplayer features. In this video, we'll cover an introduction of this service, go through their Quick Start docs together, and integrate basic authentication through their Unity SDK to get started. Finally, we'll check out their price page. You'll start hearing more about AXR since they were recently acquired by the game commerce and global payment giant Xsolla. My name is Dylan, and I'll be guiding you through this service. I'm a game backend specialist of 8 years after launching a successful PvP game. This video is sponsored by AXR, however, my opinions are my own. Now, let's look at what's unique. The first thing I see is multiple characters. Other services don't usually offer this. Modify existing services. For example, add some code or additional checks before or after authentication, microtransactions, or what have you. Achievements with player rewards. You can track anything from mundane to something really complex, like beat boss X in zone Y by time T. Then we have a serious set of social features, including native player-to-player messaging, game, party, clan, guild invites. I mean, invite systems and messaging alone is quite rare. Now, I looked into the friends list. They're being humble by minimally describing it, but it's actually a full-fledged social network inspired by Twitter. You start with an initial engagement, such as matchmaking together. They would later try to get thrown into the same party together and would hopefully recognize each other, leading to one of them perhaps following the user, then sending them a friend request. Then, upon approval, they become friends, and that can be overridden by their block system. Comparably, we look at PlayFab's system that allows you to add, remove, or list friends in a binary fashion. This means no followers, no approvals, no engagement status. Not even a block system. This allows people to force add users as a friend to ultimately allow undesirable behavior. Jumping back to the features list, I noticed per character inventory, which is pretty neat. Even the ability to share and trade items. Sell subscriptions, think battle pass. Missions and quests is something personal to me. In my old PvP game, I must have spent a good month coding a whole system like this. This even supports timed events, rotating events, dailies, weeklies. This is impressive. Level progression. I always wonder why so many competitors don't have this, as progression is retention. That gives players a reason to return, and have them feel like they're making an impact. Not just level progression, but tree-based abilities. Think Diablo or World of Warcraft where ability trees split off. This means when a player levels up, they know exactly what abilities they get, explicitly and straight from the server. They also have real-time multiplayer for a higher cost, which is pretty standard. One thing that stands out is matchmaking parties or groups. Some call it premades. To compare, PlayFab's OSS lacks matchmaking premades, so not all competitors have this. Now, let's make a quick start tutorial in Unity. Let's arbitrarily call it AXR Quick Start. We'll be using Unity 2022.3 LTS. Let's jump back to the docs. We're following the Unity Engine SDK docs. It provides a simple wrapper around the C# SDK in addition to the prefabs and basic scripts included to make the process of working with the platform easier. Outside the scope of this video, they also provide a pre-made Unity demo. As for this video, we'll implement the SDK from scratch. Using Unity 2022.3 LTS, we meet the minimum requirements. There are two ways to import the SDK. The recommended one is from the Git URL, so we're going to ignore the second option. Scrolling down to the recommended section, it says, open your project in Unity and navigate to the package manager window. In the package manager, add the Git URL. Let's copy that URL right now. In Unity, we need to get to the package manager. Here at the top left, there's a plus sign you can't see. Add the package from the Git URL, paste the link from the docs. For future updates, you can just update here in one click. Back to the docs, I scroll down to configuration. In summary, we need to create a scriptable object via assets, create AXR core SDK. Let's do that. Assets, create, AXR. This may cut off to you, but core SDK. We now have a settings scriptable object. To the right, we have these demo defaults that we want to keep. Scrolling down to using the demo environment, we can compare to our settings to ensure they match. Outside the scope of this tutorial, they link to their web dashboard here. Scrolling down further, we have this demo script to init and authenticate. Let's take a look. Inherits from mono behavior. The core SDK config is our recently made settings scriptable object. Async void start hints that we'll be using async await with tasks. Log in using the device method. This is the core of what we want to accomplish in this video. As a bonus, we'll also have an example of getting session service, so we'll also get our player session info and toss that in the log. In Unity, create a new C# script, AXR example. Open the script, open the example. Let's paste our template. We already know what it does, so just save. Before we continue, let's throw this in a scripts folder to follow standards. Create an empty game object. Reset the transform. Drag the AXR example into the game object. Now drag in the AXR config scriptable object. Save, press play, and we should get logs with no errors on success. We can see if we were successfully logged in. If we had external accounts connected, like Steam, they'd normally show here. We got our session data that dumps information about our player, and we've even already hopped into a lobby waiting for players. Awesome. Now that we've introduced AXR, reviewed its features, browsed the Unity Quickstart docs together, and created a Hello World authentication demo, let's take a look at their price page. On the pricing page, we can immediately see there's both a managed and self-hosted version. If we look at Indie, we can see that the price is free. This is especially great for pre-production without having to worry about fees. Let's see what we get. One cluster, content management, gameplay, player engagement, social integration, custom domain, telemetry and metrics, one custom service, 10 GB of storage, and a basic SLA, where any SLA on a free tier is pretty nice. If we look at professional, $99 per month, notably including advanced matchmaking and real-time multiplayer. Just to take a quick look at self-hosted, free with 4% royalty. Pretty good. AXR is a solid choice among the competition. You own your own data, the price is right, and the feature set is huge. If you're into game development, especially online game development, be sure to like and subscribe for more content like this.